Our following guest is remembered for winning Super Bowl 40 as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers and losing a race to me before Super Bowl 43. He was a member of the 1990 Notre Dame team that could have won a national title, but somebody got called for clipping on Rocket Ismail's return. Sorry about that. Although many view him as a Hall of Fame football player, I view him as a failed professional bowler. Please welcome the lovely and talented Jerome Bettis.
Unbelievable.
Whoa, what happened there?
I don't know. That's how y'all doing.
Hi, Bussy.
Unbelievable.
How you doing? How you doing?
And this is what you call a friend. I hate to see my enemies. I tell you what.
No, that's how friends treat friends. They give them a little bit of grief.
True.
I think the last time I had you on, I promised I'd never bring up that foot race again.
Trust me, the foot race.
I felt bad for you.
No.
You were 36 at the time.
The key is I had on full dress shoes, the whole deal.
Oh, my God.
This guy had on running shoes, the whole deal. He had warmed up before. He was ready to go.
I'm 20
I
years
gave him a head start. Hold on. I gave him a head start. Okay. I didn't know how fast he was already. You know, he had some athleticism. Okay, I give you that. But we wasn't side by side running. He had a head start. He ended up keeping his head start almost. I cut into it a little bit.
Okay, wait. Do you think Tony Dungy is a liar?
Well,
no. Just a yes or no.
See, listen, he didn't see the angle, the full angle. He wasn't at the finish line. He was at the start of the race, you remember? They were all at the start of the race.
Tony does not lie, right? Tony Dungy does not lie.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm sure he's told a fib. I'm sure.
If he's telling a fib, it
for
wouldn't
the right
be about
reasons.
That. Okay. But it's great to see.
It's great to see
if
you.
If we ran now. What was your 40?
My 40? At what point in my career? Because when I was drafted.
Your fastest.
My fastest, I weighed 252 and I ran a 4.52.
Okay. That's good.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah, you caught me 20 years later.
No, I caught you you were 30. You just retired.
I was beat up, though.
Isn't that the reason why you retired is because I beat you?
No, you beat me after I retired and after I had shut it down and I had, won a Super Bowl in my hometown and all that came with that, and had a lot of fun, and wasn't training, and
okay.
I was hurting a little bit too, physically.
Mentally.
My body was beat. No,
and
not mentally. Physically, my body was beat up, which is why I'm here. So you remember that.
Okay. What'd you have? 3,400 carries?
Yeah, a little over 3,000. Yeah.
Is there one that still hurts?
One carry?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
I'm not going to let you take me there.
I'm just curious because you gave it more than you got it.
The only carry I'd love to have back was the fumble against Indianapolis. If there was one carry I could have back, and the only reason I want that carry back is because now every time I go anywhere, I'm in the airport. Hey, man, I remember that. I'm like, are you serious? My whole career, you remember that moment I fumbled, and it's like that's the only carry anybody. They remember that I was a Hall of Fame running back, but they can't remember any carries except the one that I fumbled.
You had, to be exact, 3,479 carries.
And people remember that one.
One carry. Yeah. What happened on that play?
It's real simple. I tried to get skinny, which is the first problem, right?
Explain how you get skinny.
Getting skinny is really kind of turning sideways in the hole, right?
Okay.
And so the hole was there. I tried to get skinny, and the linebacker came right across, and as I had the ball here, he came right across because usually you go here. Yeah. I turn here, exposing the ball, and he had a perfect shot, hit me. The ball bounced up in the air, and luckily Ben saved the day for me. But it could have been I hate to say another guy's name, but a Bill Buckner type moment, because had we lost that game, that would have been the end of my career, and that's that's definitely all everybody would talk about. You would even be talking about that.
You know
here.
what? I might be a little more sensitive to it if you fumbled and you guys didn't get to the Super Bowl.
You might be.
Yeah, I would.
You might,
Because
I believe that.
Yeah, I've been around. You're
not that terrible.
No, I'm not. I'm close, but not. No, I would have been sensitive to that. We start to look at running backs though, Jerome, and it's kind of hard to figure out what is great now because it's a different label to what is great. Like Derrick Henry, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, that's what the NFL was. And we brought back old school a little bit with the Titans, but I don't know, will we see is that the new thing possibly, that the running back is going to be that big physical back, or is there just only one Derrick Henry?
I think what you're going to see is teams figuring out what they have at quarterback. And I think what you have at quarterback is going to determine what you need at running back. If you've got a really outstanding quarterback, i.e. Patrick Mahomes, then no, you're not going to invest in that running back because the odds of you running, 40 times a game is very slim, right? So you're going to make the investment in the receivers around your quarterback. If you don't have that superstar quarterback, then now you have to think about how are we going to be successful in the NFL, because it's not impossible. And I think the Tennessee Titans proved that in this day and age, you can still run the football and win football games. So I just think the quarterback position determines, because if Tennessee had a really good quarterback, Henry wouldn't have had the opportunity to run the football. The only reason he ran the football so much this year was because the quarterback situation deteriorated to the point where they said, we're going to give you 30 carries because we're not sure if we want to throw the football 30 times. And they saw they had a star in Henry, and they said, okay, we're going to keep it going. But then comes the decision at quarterback. Now, if you go out and try to go get a expensive quarterback, or if you keep Tannehill, then you want to keep your running back. If you go out and try to trade for a star quarterback, then I think you're going to let the running back go.
But if the Titans would bring in Tom Brady, are you keeping Derrick Henry?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, one, you want to help Tom. You don't want Tom to have to throw the ball 40 times,
yes,
right? But when he does throw, he's going to be an accurate passer, make the right decision, and you may be able to prolong his career maybe a year or two because you're going to give the bulk of the work to the running back.
I know that you told me this story. I hope you didn't tell it to me in confidence, but if you did, it's no longer in confidence. You told me about the Super Bowl, Ben Roethlisberger's first Super Bowl, and how the moment, you get ready for the moment, but the moment was too big for him. Like you guys, the veterans, were kind of calming him down in the huddle. What do you remember about that?
Well, it was one of those, he wanted to win the game, you know what I mean? And that's not uncommon. We saw what happened in Baltimore. Same situation. You had a quarterback who was having an MVP year, and he wanted to win the game. And there were some times in that Baltimore Ravens playoff game where the quarterback probably should have given the ball to the running back, but instead he wanted to keep it because he wanted to have bigger impact in the game. That's normal for a young quarterback. And here,
but you got young quarterbacks in this Super Bowl, like that moment.
But these guys are. I mean, Ben was a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
So, and in Baltimore, obviously, you got a second-year quarterback. So, as you get older, you realize that the moment is not as big. And to Ben's credit, he settled down in that game.
But
early in the game,
but
it
did
was
you
like,
talk to him?
It wasn't so much me talking to him as much as he was allowing the game to happen. You know what I mean? When you go out there and things aren't going your way, you have to kind of reassess everything. And we had a veteran team, you know what I mean? So everybody got on the same page, and we were fine.
Yeah, it's just, that moment where guys throw up before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I didn't. It was in my hometown. I was excited. This is a big moment, but you got to remember too, I was the wrapping paper, so to speak, because I wasn't doing the heavy lifting. running the football, and obviously I wasn't the quarterback, so I was the wrapping paper that you tear off and you get to the good stuff. Once the game started, you tear me off, and that was the end of that.
When Myron Cope, the legendary broadcaster, first called you the Bus, what did you think of that nickname?
So the story, they heard me be called the Bus. We went up to Wisconsin, and one of the coaches at Wisconsin was at Notre Dame, and his brother was a tight end on my team. And long story short, I'm in the lobby, and he says, "Hey, Bussy." One of the coaches, my former coach at Notre Dame, and then Bill Hillgrove and Myron Cope heard him say it. And in that next preseason game, we were playing in Wisconsin against Green Bay. He said, "He kind of looks like a bus." That's how we were talking. "Da bus," and the rest is history.
What was your nickname before that?
Well, when I was at Notre Dame, I had two nicknames. I had the Bus, but I also had Big Daddy. Big as a truck, quick as a caddy. That's why they call him Big Daddy.
That sounds like something Dion would say.
No, it was the offensive line, the legendary offensive lineman Joe Moore, who had coached all those guys at Pitt and then was at Notre Dame. He came up with that little deal. He called me
good.
Big as a truck, quick as a caddy. That's why they call him Big Daddy.
Dion's downstairs in the green room watching. Did he ever tackle you?
He made some really good business decisions, but I'll tell you this, and that's his term. He came up with that term, but what he would do, he was so good, he was so fast that he would wait for me to go by him, and he would just tackle me from behind, which is the best way to do it.
Well, there's speed, and then there's world. Like Tyreek Hill, you look at him and you go, he's faster than everybody.
Yes, right.
And Dion had that.
He had that kind of speed where he was just faster than everybody else.
He always tells the story about when he was trying to tackle Bo, and he was a freshman, I think, at Florida State. And he said Bo Jackson baptized him. He did that hand on the forehead, like he healed Dion. You're healed, son. Now go to the ground.
That happens.
It's one of my favorite stories. You had surgery, right?
Yeah.
Spine surgery, and Nuvasive is the company that you're working with.
Yeah.
Explain what happened and how they've helped you kind of come back.
So after I retired and we talked about it, I mean, I was starting to get really beat up, and I think that was partially why you stayed with me in that run that we had, because I was in pain and dealing with some issues, and it got progressively worse. I started to play golf, and I thought that I was okay, but I really wasn't. And then having kids, playing with the kids, my quality of life started to deteriorate really quickly. So I started to do some research because I knew I needed a fusion for my back, and I found the right surgery, which was called the X-Lift surgery, and then I needed to find the right surgeon. I found the right surgeon, doctor by the name of Dr. Uribe. He was world class, and I had this surgery, and the benefit of it was that it was non-invasive. So they went in through my love handles on the side, which, I got some love handles. They went in through the love handles and did everything, and no big scars on the back. But for me, the big benefit was the recovery time. Instead of 8 months, it was 3 months, and I got my life back, and very, very thankful. And for anybody who wants to kind of hear the story or my journey, it's online. You can go to nuvasive.com/thebus and read about it.
But is it just spine surgery?
It was my fusion.
Is that what
L4, L5.
That's what they deal with, or they have other?
No, that's what they deal with.
Spine surgery.
They deal with spine surgery.
Bussy, It's always great to see you.
Thank you.
I love your laugh, and you're a good sport about all of this.
And I think I would beat you racing right now. I'm healthy. I'm back. I think. I said I think. Then we can set it up, though. Give me some time to train.
You know that I've had 6 knee operations and a replacement knee. So even
how recently have you had that?
I had the replacement a year ago, but I had 5 surgeries. When we raced, I had already had 5 knee surgeries.
And you stayed with me, close, relatively. I gave you the head start, though. Hold on. Let me ask you, did I give you a head start?
You gave me
I'm asking you a question. Did I give you a head start?
Can I answer?
Yes or no? I don't need to. Did I give you a head start? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's it. That's all you say.
Yes, you gave me.
I gave you a head start.
Okay.
Period.
I can turn off your mic, and then I can complete this story. You gave me a 5-yard head start. Right? You gave me a 5-yard head start.
And we were only going 35 yards.
No, we went 50. And Tony Dungy and the legendary Bob Costas, journalist, they both said you actually increased your lead on Bus, and they felt bad for you.
No, they were being nice to you.
No.
They were being nice to you. Because you got to remember.
What would you rather do? Not fumble against the Colts or have beaten me in a race?
That's a good question. I can't answer that one.
I love you. Thank you, Bussy. Jerome Bettis, the Bus.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.